Hey, today I want to talk about Tesla exciting Robotaxi rollout. He's claiming that by the end of the year we can buy one. And some of the questions was, well, if I buy one, and how much can I make? Um, and stuff, is it a viable business and stuff like that. So I want to kind of talk about my thoughts, and we have some people analyzing it and giving the takes. I read on Twitter and X. So here's my take. I want to give you my take on this one. Tesla builds its first Cybercab in Texas factory, so it's an Austin factory here in the Gigafactory in Austin, Texas. And it looks something like this. I think you guys seen it at the debut. Looks something like this. It's pretty futuristic, very nice. This was gold painted, very clever. And he said on X he said, hey, we made a big milestone. We did the first Firecab built in Austin facility. According to the team, it's a two-door vehicle built without steering wheel or pedals. So that's very unique. There's no steering wheel pedal because no one's driving it. It's just autonomous. So you don't need that. And it's built really for the Robotaxi fleet rail hauling service. So it's kind of like the autonomous driving. So it's kind of like an Uber, but no human involved, or it's like a Waymo. Waymo don't have no human, so it's like a Waymo fleet. Okay, so that's more like a Waymo than Uber. Uber does have incorporate Waymo, but it's really a Waymo fleet. And they they started testing it, I think, in Austin. The first one was being seen, videoed in Austin. And I think they open in San Francisco, and Amazon Zoox operate the same thing. So Zoox, Waymo, and some other competitors. Then the next obvious question is, well, if you buy one and put in your garage or something, can you make extra money, side money, like Uber or Lyft or something like that, Waymo? And essentially, someone on X, someone on X here, came up with an article and said, this guy Cern Basher on X, I think he's an accountant, professional accountant, and he's like, I studied this, and he's saying you can actually make money off this, and it's surprising. Which it's surprising, right? You don't think you make much money off this Robotaxi cab, especially if they charge very low rates, less than competitors. Like, nah, you wasn't sure after all this. It doesn't make any sense. Is it viable? And according to his supposedly conservative calculation, he's saying that assume you buy one for $30,000, and it costs $199, so $99. Tesla wants to keep 35%, so 30%. And you charge a home 600 kilowatt, which is okay, that's fine. The kilowatt per hours. I know in Texas that's okay. You might get a little less than that. And he's saying your average house will be 25 miles an hour, 5 miles length, empty miles 40%. That means when you're not actually having a passenger in there, you're waiting or going back to where you're going to. Unloading time, vehicle battery life is 600,000 miles, which is really long. I mean, it's great, it's good. And base fare is $1 per mile. So remember, that's $1 per mile per mile base fare, which is very low. Which I think Tesla's going to increase it through price surging or some other route, because that's too low. That seems very low to me. Because it's 4 times on an Uber or Lyft. And he does all these charts and comparisons, which I'm very happy he did something look into this, because I need something like this to kind of vindicate for myself, even to see if that's something viable for myself. And he's saying, if you do this, you can make gross revenue, before expenses, $32,000 to $72,000, depending on usage. So, in the worst case scenario, $32,000, more aggressive, $70,000, which a little harder, but maybe not impossible. And then you had to calculate your cleaning and everything else and taxes. He's saying you can make $8,000 to $26,000 per vehicle. So you multiply it by 6 or 12, that can get you that pretty decent amount of income. And he's saying that this is a viable model and it's good. He wants to buy it himself actually. He has 70 orders of Cybertruck, but he might not. He doesn't know more buy Cybercabs. But he's saying that net profit 8,000, 20,000, which if I ask ChatGPT, so how much you conservatively, so I say conservatively taken, so I pop it in my ChatGPT, conservative underwritings, there's an utilization ratio, demand's not perfect, 3 trips a day, 199, vehicle cost, active hours, 7.2 hours, 21-day trip, 7 days a week. Okay, annual gross. You can make 80,000 gross. Round up, simple for you guys. 80,000 gross. 51,000 conservative insurance, tires, brakes, cleaning, charging, and subscription. I don't know. They charge $99, $199. I'm not sure, but I think it's $99 right now. This is what it is right now, but I don't know what he's gonna charge. Expenses. So you want to 25 to 30K per vehicle. And that's my level of conservatism, Greystone, name my company. So if you times 3 or 4 of those, then you get over 6 figures, which is not bad. The only thing you watch out for is bad tenants, like if they smoke or something. If you dirty your car, it's hard to get it out. That's the only thing that I worry about when you do these kind of ride-sharing businesses. You might have, nasty tenants. I recently rented from Turo, and owner said, "Oh, there's a bad tenant. He smoked like weed or something," and she took 20 days just to air it out and put some perfume, trying to get the smell out of the Tesla Model Y. So that is a real concern, because just like Turo, if you're renting a car as a taxi, it's a ride-hailing service. Someone gets in, smokes, or just trash your car, like abuse it. I mean that can hurt your car, right? So that's the only downside that you really hard to control. So I don't know. That's the downside of sort of this rail hailing service, because you don't know if you're getting good customers or bad customers, right? And who's gonna abuse your Robotaxi, right? So that's the tricky part that I don't know. That I have no good answer for. But realistically, you can get almost 90K 3 vehicles. That's like 84,000. It's not bad. I mean, if you look at the return on capital, that's a pretty high cash and cash. That's one of the highest yields I've seen in any asset class. And what Sir Basher is saying, that this is a new asset class because it's the first time you have a vehicle that's placed for no human driver that can run while you're sleeping. But I bet you need someone to clean it, you need someone to charge it, and this is wireless charging, so it's not all that passive. It's not you just fall asleep. You have to make sure that it's either you or someone or your employee has to watch it and has to come back and clean it, has to charge it. You need a place to stay. If you have a fleet, you need like a warehouse or something, a depot. Secure inside the gate, not outside normally, unless you have a fence. But ideally you want it inside in case it rains, or if you're in a snow terrain where it's cold, like New Jersey, New York, upper like Montana, where it snows a lot. You have to put it indoors. I don't know. That's what I see. I'm thinking right now. So, see, here in Dallas, there's not much snow and stuff like that, but you have one house you put in your garage, you put it outside in the street, it's fine. But if you have like a fleet of them, that's where you have to think about, where I'm gonna house these, and then you need to buy chargers to charge those cars up in your warehouse. So you need those Tesla chargers, destination chargers, home chargers. Then the time that's charging is downtime, and that's where the use ratio comes in. So downtime's like this: you don't do 3 trips a day because you're charging in between. So if it's really close trips, then you could do maybe a little more, but you're gonna have downtime, right? So this downtime is 40% empty miles, meaning that your use ratio is really half because you need to charge too. Unless you supercharge them, but then that has to go supercharge someone to charge them. So that's where it's not 100% yet until you have wireless charging. If you have wireless charging, where it just automatically goes in and charges itself and then goes out, then that's fine. The only other issue left is if someone trashes your thing and put garbage there, you need to clean it out. That's the only thing. inside Tesla, there's a cabin camera where you can watch inside, and it could tell you if it's trash or not. Maybe it has an alert saying, "Hey, it's trash. You gotta clean it." Now I'm thinking Tesla Service Center may have a service like that, where that Robotaxi, you can almost drive to there. Tesla will charge you on a credit card for a cleaning service, and instead of you hiring someone or a family member or yourself doing it, if you want to pay a fee to have them do it, they will charge you a fee to automate the process for you, and maybe they'll charge it for you as well. Because they have superchargers on the service center as well, which can take maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes the most to go back on the road. So I think Tesla may offer a service where they will clean it for you. We will make sure it's ready for next trip or something, and then we'll charge it for you, and then we'll charge you a fee. And I don't know how that works, what they want to charge. But actually that may simplify. So you're running like a fleet business, like 6 or 12 of them. Well, you have to find your own staff that they're reliable. You have your own warehouse. But then still the question is where you store them. You still need a warehouse. You need somewhere to store them. Unless Tesla lets you rent the space in the warehouse. And that, I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt they'll do that, but I guess you need a space that's secure. If you have more than 2, that's my assumption. Because you can't keep like 3 or 4 out in your home. The HOA won't let you do that. If you're in like a nice area, they won't allow that. So things to consider is, well, if you can do a fleet, where are you going to store them? And how much is the rent? That's another factor. Because in this factor, it didn't assume, we're not assuming rent. We're assuming you have one in your house and there's no rent here. Right? So in this revenue per trip and everything else. So this is what he's saying, CERN. Okay. If I pull up this image right here. He, in his assumption, his expenses don't have rent because say you're bringing it home, but it's not like a fleet. So when I read through this, he don't have that expense. Yeah, you see, EV taxes, tires, operating, marketing, insurance, parking is 0. See that? And cleaning is 0 because he thinks you clean yourself, so self. And no markers does the marketing for you. It's kind of like Uber. You call it an Uber fleet, a Turo fleet. But parking and cleaning is where I think when you want to scale from to a fleet, that's where you need someone on staff or something to clean and park. Because I've seen a lot in Dallas where he does like Turos, and I talked to the owner, and he has like 50, 60 cars, and he has an employee who helps him do all these things. And that's what you kind of need if you can do like a scale, okay? Unless Tesla offers that, which I don't think they will, because it's too many. It'll be too many on the road. Now the cleaning service, I can see and I can agree to cleaning service. So, yeah. Okay. Charging, finance costs, vehicle costs, and everything else. But this is for a simple homeowner who wants to buy 1 or 2, and you do it yourself. Then okay, there is no cleaning, there's no parking. I agree. But when you want to scale, which my company likes to scale, Greystone, you have to add parking and rent and cleaning. And marketing, I don't know. I guess Tesla does market for you, so I guess you don't. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, what are you gonna market? Tesla Robotaxi? I mean, that's Tesla marketing for you, so I don't know. I'm not sure if that's you need any dollars for that marketing. I'm not 100% sure about that. Because it's not like Greystone itself is Tesla, so I don't know if I'm allowed to market myself. And see, so that I'm not sure. So this is kind of unknown marketing. I'm not sure about that one. But this other one, tires, yeah, I think yes. Parking, if you do a fleet, yes. Cleaning, yes. Everything else, yes. But the marketing part, I'm not 100% sure about. I'm not sure how this program will work. These are all hypotheticals. If you haven't released anything yet, zero guidance from Tesla. But basically, if you look at what ChatGPT is telling me, they're saying yes, it's good. What they're trying to tell you is yes. They're saying that it's good. I mean, basically, if you factor all this stuff in, it could be worth your while to test one and see how it is. You see how you like it. If you don't like it, you just stop it or sell it or keep it. If you like it, you can expand more and grow your fleet. But then you have more thinking about, right, where you're gonna store it, where you're gonna charge it, are you gonna have employees, and all that stuff is a W-2, 1099, all the things that you think of as a business owner, and then pay taxes, payroll tax, all that stuff you think of to kind of scale this robotaxi fleet. But in my opinion, what this AI is telling me, the map's internally inconsistent. He's saying that CERN basher is that 4 trips. It might be a little bit aggressive. So if we take it like more like less and be more conservative under kind of the Greystone principles, under what I teach. I teach many students how to write conservatively. I'm doing it for a long time, over 5 years. I help thousands of students be very successful in buying multifamily commercial real estate. And I'm applying this my logic and underwriting from CPA background, taxes, tax provisions, and saying, hey, what happens? I'm training the AI. I say, hey, what happens if it's if we don't meet those metrics? What happens if this and that? And then it's okay. Let's use the ratio. Demand's not perfect. Let's assume 3 trips, which sounds realistic because you live in a big city like Dallas, where I live. 3 trips sounds realistic. It doesn't seem like it's far-fetched. You could do 3 trips, and you could charge a car at your home. Okay, so that's realistic for me. 40% empty miles. Okay. Now Tesla may take 30% commission and 25% commission, not 35%. So I think this is a little higher, but you're being conservative. CERN is. And FSD is saying $199, which is conservative, but usually it's $99 right now. So you go out right now, you buy, it's $99. So this will be harder than I expect, because usually they charge you more for risk. Now Tesla has its own insurance program, so I expect Tesla to cover this somehow, and they charge you a fee for it, but I don't know. As I don't know what it is, or maybe Lemonade or something, the Lemonade partnership. I don't know what that is. This one, I don't know. Maybe it's higher than normal, which you expect, but we don't know what is the program for this one. Maintenance. So the biggest thing in maintenance is just keeping it clean, and tires, and then just once a year cabin filter. It's not that often. Maybe you do it twice a year because it's Robotaxi. Wiper blades. That's really, but mostly tires. It's tires mostly. So yeah, you wear more tires, and you do rotations more. So let's say 30%. Okay, 7 hours. That's 21 trip, which is achievable. That's conservative. So that's how much you can make. 84,000 gross. So 80,000. Okay. So yeah, I think this is something that I would look at for myself in my company and see if it makes sense to explore another avenue besides multifamily. I do multifamily, industrial. Now I'm getting to assisted living as well. But something like this is a different model I like. I love this Tesla brand and the Tesla Robotaxi model. So long as it makes sense, so long as I can get my ROI. And it looks like it's good ROI based on this. I never heard that before. This is really high. This is with very strict like conservatism on the Greystone level. That's a very high cash on cash. I never seen any other asset class this high. Okay, so even let's say you only go 2.5 trips, and this goes higher, electricity and everything. You still at like a payback of 1.1 year. And compared to my triple net industrial 7 cap, right? You're looking at fully autonomous work. As long as DAS approves it, this is still very doable because it's still very high cash and cash business. So I just want to share my thoughts with you that this is something you may want to consider if you want to look at it. But the other way you hedge your bet is, and what CERN was saying was this: you can be a Tesla shareholder because it's going to grow over time because of the AI and Robotaxi network. Or you could be both, be a Robotaxi owner and network and hedge your bet. So, but let's say Tesla charges a little more, then more revenue to Tesla, then your stock as an investor will go up. If they charge a little less, and as an owner, you might go up. So you can hedge your bets that way. And for me, being conservative, always buy one, test one yourself, and see how you like it. See how it runs for you, and does it make sense for you. If you do like it, then you can expand. If you don't like it, obviously you can just keep it, sell it, or what do you like with it, and just get your money back. But that's kind of the advice that someone like me would give you, a Greystone advice. But based on what I'm seeing here and what CERN is telling us, this guy CERN Basher on X, telling that this is a very different thing, it's a different asset class. You should buy one machine, you work thousands of hours, earn while you sleep, which not necessarily earn while you sleep, but I mean it's not truly passive like a stock investor. Obviously, you have to manage everything and ensure that everything goes well and proper. So okay, and he calls this the microeconomy. Atomics of fleet entrepreneurs, infrastructures, managers, wealth compounding. This is not like buying a multi-family or something. Franchise, you have a lot of capital in franchise. This is a small point of entry, so it's better to get different. Redefine car ownership. So it's a very interesting point what he's trying to tell, and he's trying to say that hey, you can actually, this is actually pretty good, and that's what he's trying to tell you, based on his charts and data. I ran it through my AI, ChatGPT, and I asked, hey, can this really work? Is it conservative enough for Greystone? And it said yes. But as always, this is just me educating you. You make your own decisions, your own advice. I'm not a financial advisor for you. And you could always just test it and see how that works for you. And if are you happy with it? You like it? Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts? But I'm kind of excited about this because it's something new. I never had a Cybercab before. I never had no one driving it before. The only car driver itself is my Tesla Model Y that drives FSD. So it'll be similar to this event, but there's no one inside no one inside driving it. Like I'm sitting inside my passenger seat, my driver's seat, but there's no one there. So people like that because number one, Uber drivers are sometimes very rude, very obnoxious, and sometimes the car is very trashy too. Very low quality, so people don't like that, and they want quiet, they want comfort, clean, and they want no one there because they don't, sometimes they don't want someone there, so they want their own quiet space, and that will achieve that price point. And I think what they really like is the price is lower than competitors, so the dollar a mile is like 4 times lower. I think that's too low. I think maybe $2 or $2.50 or even $3, $1 lower or $1.50 lower, or even half. I think half lower would be a good medium, like $2 instead of $4. So then you can make some decent money as an owner, but yet charge less than competition. Everyone will flood to Robotaxi because you're much lower than like Uber or Lyft, even Waymo. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'm excited about it. I want to see how it works. Hey, I want to get my hands on one, and I'll make a follow-up video to actually test it out and say, hey, maybe this works, this is what I see. Right now it's hypothetical. This guy's giving me some assumptions that, we don't know what really going to be because no one knows. They haven't announced it yet, but it's hypotheticals, and I can't really get my hands on one and see what it really looks like and what's the truth versus not the truth, right? So what's the verdict? So, okay guys, thank you very much and have a great day.